Support WrestleTalk!
Click the thumbs up.
Raw is war, and war, quite famously, is hell. So, by that token, Raw is also hell. So hidden somewhere deep within Dante's 9 circles of fiery inferno must be an annex in which WWE's main brand takes place. A twisting realm in which we forever watch a demon king and a lone wolf in smart casual clothing fight bitterly to the end of days. Also in this annex, Kane's house. If you've been watching the Red Brand recently, or listening to the Wrestle Rambles, or you spent any time in the WrestleTalk office listening to Ollie and Luke just endlessly moan about how bad Raw is, which is my own personal form of hell, then you may be wondering, why Raw's so poor? Well, I've got some reasons for you. Some of them not the programme's fault, and some of them definitely their fault. I'm El Fakador Laurie Blake, and here are 7 reasons why Raw is so poor. Number 7. Injured stars. Any good booker would tell you that you shouldn't build your entire show around one singular star. What if that performer has an off night? What if, God forbid, they get injured? Aha! WWE said, that's why we'll book it around 2 guys, and then we'll always have a backup. Well done us. Pat on the back. Pat on the back for me. Except, not well done them, because sadly, Roman Reigns was forced to vacate the Universal title in order to go and have treatment for leukemia. Then, WWE's master plan kicks into gear with Braun Strowman, Hal's moving meat castle himself, who steps into the void and manages to ding his elbow on the way in, so he's out too. Injuries and illnesses aren't exactly anyone's fault, except Nia Jax's. Hey, I could be mean too. But seriously, they're not. However, the hole that WWE has now booked itself into definitely is their fault. Because so much of the main roster has been used to further the feud between Roman and Strowman, and it's a bit silly now. You got the Shield Bros tangled in the mess, Dolphin Tire, Lashley was fed to the dog, Owens was fed to the monster. Everyone who was booked strong lost to either Stro or Rowe in order to make them look stronger. There just aren't any credible threats left on the roster, with the 2 biggest players gone and the current Universal Champ Brock Lesnar back to his old keep-away ways. So really, all we've been left with, our only glimmer of hope in the darkness, is Drew McIntyre, the beautiful Scottish statue himself. And even he looks like he's just going to be Baron Corbin's buddy for a bit now, so. Number 6, terrible commentary. It's boss time. For real, Michael. Like, when was the last time it actually felt like it was boss time? When was the last time Sasha Banks actually had anything to do? Shut up, Michael. Shut up. Commentary can obviously make or break wrestling on TV. Not only do the folks sat behind the desk make sense of the action in the ring and hopefully give you a few laughs along the way, they also help to further the story, keeping the kayfabe alive. Not on Raw, folks. Because at this stage, Michael Cole is basically a parrot for catchphrases. He's got nickname Tourette. Renee Young definitely has the potential to be a good commentator, but someone in the back is clearly feeding her line after terrible line. And we know this because we've seen her be perfectly charismatic in backstage interviews, so, I don't know, why not let her drive her own mouth on the commentary desk? It also doesn't help that Cole and Corey Graves keep asking her stupid questions about what it must be like living at home with Dean Ambrose during his heel run when he's all stroppy and stressed. I mean, it is not real life. I'm sure he's not being a douche at home because she could just leave. So that leaves Corey as the only one who manages to hold on to any shred of credibility, which is probably why he also gets to do Smacky D. 1 out of 3 ain't bad. It's terrible. Number 5, repetitive feuds. If you watched this week's episode of Raw, not only did you waste your evening, but you will also seen Seth Rollins face Dolph Ziggler after a Zigga answered the Intercontinental Championship Open Challenge. I mean, can nobody beat Dolph to the curtain? Like Kurt Hawkins, push him out of the way, trip him up with your little stick thing. Stab the bastard, I don't know. You may have noticed that the Seth Rollins versus Dolph Ziggler match is basically a run back of a run back of a run back. We've run back so far, we've gone back in time, all the way to Money in the Bank in June this year, and one maths whiz on Twitter gave us the lowdown of how often we've seen this particular match since that day. Seth Rollins and Dolph Ziggler have shared the ring 15 times since June 18th, with 7 being singles matches. That's 15 times in 24 weeks. You could select a random week of WWE and have a 62.5% chance of seeing this match. And it's not even like that's the only match we've seen before. We've had multiple variations of the Riot Squad versus Sasha Banks, Bayley and Natalya. Finn Balor and Baron Corbin are now intimately acquainted after having gone deep six so often, which sounds sexy but isn't. Even little Drake Maverick has managed to make piss jokes twice in 2 weeks. You tune into wrestling shows hoping to see new matches that you've never seen before, not matches you've seen so many times that you start to wonder if you're in some sort of real-life version of Groundhog Day in which the groundhog is dead and it is eternally winter. Number 4, it's 3 hours long. People often complain that the Lord of the Rings films are too long, and they would be right. My bladder barely made it through the third one at the cinema. But at least something actually happened in them. In the 3 hours and 20 odd minutes of Return of the King, Sam and Frodo venture into Mordor. They're betrayed by Gollum. Frodo is poisoned by Shelob, captured by the orcs. Meanwhile, the orcs lay siege to Minas Tirith. Gandalf rides out for reinforcements. Aragorn walks the path of the dead, raises their army. Eowyn and Merry kill the Witch King. Aragorn and the dead win the battle. They head to the Black Gate to confront Sauron's army. Meanwhile, Sam rescues Frodo. They make it to Mount Doom. They have a little fight with Gollum over the precious, drop the ring and the dirty toddler into the fire, and then they ride home on the backs of eagles. All of that in 3 hours, and I've missed loads out. On Raw, Balor versus Corbin. And don't ever go at me over Lord of the Rings spoilers, that book's been out for 70 years. This past week's Raw ratings were almost the lowest in history, with the third hour achieving just 2.11 million viewers on average, which just proves that if you build your entire 3-hour show towards a main event featuring Baron Corbin, that's what's going to happen, innit? Because if you give the fans nothing to get excited about, then funnily enough, they ain't going to get excited. Proving that they're not nearly as stupid as WWE seems to think they are. So if the product isn't good, then the ratings are going to reflect that. Got to look at SmackDown. It is a consistently better show, feels more compact, but also rammed full of good stuff. Good promos, good matches, and most importantly, it's 2 hours long. Raw is basically all that boat bit from the end of Return of the King, so just sail away already. Number 3, lackluster main events. Are you ready for our main event? Yes, we are, because you've been talking about nothing else for the last 2.5 hours. And what makes us even more ready for it is the fact that we've already seen it about 14 times in the past week. And we've got a 62 and whatever % chance of having seen it on the show since June. So, you know, I'm ready for Balor to lose to whoever. I'm so ready I can basically picture it in my mind's eye. Because the main event should always be the most interesting thing on the show, because that is how you keep your audience interested. If they're promised nothing other than a match they don't care about, then they're going to leave, pay no attention, or start chanting CM Punk. Call me old-fashioned, but I like a main event where there are, I don't know, 2 of the top men or women on the roster having a good match. Jolly good, pip pip and all that. You just do that and then people get to leave on a high. It's really, really simple. Number 2, wasted talent. Wikipedia tells me that there are 53 people on the Raw roster. So, if you only use about 5 of them on a weekly basis, quite a lot of talent going to waste, isn't it? And when you get the chance to actually use this talent, then actually, I don't know, use the talented ones. Don't give Tamina another shot of being entirely ignored by the audience. Give someone like Chad Gable a shot of the Intercontinental Championship. He could have tripped up Dolph Ziggler because he's really good. In fact, just give everyone in the tag division some more time on TV. Maybe not the B team, but most of them are really good too. Because actually it looked like the tag division might have turned a corner with AOP winning the belts, but now the whole division seems to be entirely focused on the fact that Drake Maverick keeps on pissing himself. And we are kind of back to square one there, aren't we? Tag teams are now a barbecue cooking, pant pissing joke. Which doesn't have to be the case, because if Raw just dipped into their pockets and used a little bit more of the roster, you give other people a break, you'd probably have a few less injuries on your hands overall, and you give some new faces the time to shine. And speaking of those injuries, as sad as they are actually an opportunity for that other talent that isn't being utilised to be utilised. So it's a lose but a win. Number 1, nothing matters. I don't want to turn all nihilistic on you as we close out the list, finish off the video, but nothing matters, like, nothing. There's no almighty Bobby Lashley. The Demon King ain't real. It's never been boss time. My watch doesn't even measure boss time. It's not real, and none of it matters. which obviously the smartest of marks will tell you and will know is half the fun. Yeah, wrestling isn't real, but people love it for the awesome action and the great storytelling. That's why we all love it. Raw somehow manages to showcase little to no in-ring talent, and with every single story they are telling, absolutely nothing matters. In the last 6 hours of Raw, pretty much nothing has happened that will bear any significance in the future. We are being fed the same feuds that were happening before Survivor Series, so if they weren't interesting back then, they sure as hell aren't going to be interested now. And it's just so dumb because the roster is so deep. Why not use the time when nothing really matters until the Royal Rumble to build up some stars into the new year? Do something big with the women's or the tag divisions. Because if the things we see every week actually have consequences, then it might make people, I don't know, more interested in seeing the show the week after. Because that's how cause and effect works. You don't just have cause after cause after cause, because then your show has little to no effect on your audience. So those are some of the reasons why Raw is poor. But how can we make it better? Well, funnily enough, Ollie and Luke discussed it in this week's Saturday edition of the Wrestle Ramble, which you can watch by clicking the link on screen now, and give us a subscribe to stay up to date on all of the latest wrestling news. I've been El Fakador, and that was Lucha.